In this video, we're going to focus on operations with math, particularly addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, but with decimals. So let's begin with this problem. We want to add 4.53 with 3.72. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up the two numbers, and then we're going to add them. So starting with the numbers in the hundredths place, or the first column on the right, we're going to add those two numbers. 2 plus 3 is 5. Next, we'll move on to the second column. 5 plus 7 is 12. So what we need to do is write the 2 and carry over the 1. And now we have three numbers in the last column, or the first column on the left, if you want to see it that way. 1 plus 4 plus 3 is 8. So the final answer for this problem is 8.25. So that's a very straightforward method when doing decimal addition. Now for the sake of practice, let's try another problem. Try this one. Go ahead and add 14.6 with 3.89. So the first thing we're going to do is line up the numbers. Make sure that the decimal points are lined up correctly. Now notice that there's no number after the 6. If you want to, you could put a 0 here to make the problem easier. So adding the first two numbers, 9 plus 0 is 9. And then moving on to the next column, 6 plus 8 is 14. We need to write the 4, carry over the 1. And then for the next column, we have 1 plus 4 plus 3, which we know is 8. And for the last column, we could simply bring down the 1. So the final answer for this problem is 14.89. I completely said that wrong. 18.49. Now let's move on to decimal subtraction. Let's subtract these two numbers. 8.469 minus 4.25. So feel free to try that. .25 is the same as 4.250. So you could put a 0 here if you want. So we're going to subtract the top number by the bottom number. 9 minus 0 is 9. 6 minus 5 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. And then 8 minus 4 is 4. So the answer for this problem is 4.219. Now let's work on another subtraction problem, but with borrowing. So let's say we have 9.524, and we want to subtract that by 5.283. Go ahead and work on that. So starting with the first column on the right, we have 4 minus 3, which will give us 1. Now moving on to the next column, 2 minus 8 will give us a negative number, so we can't do that. What we're going to do is we're going to borrow a 1 from the 5, so the 1 becomes a 4, the 2 becomes 12. We basically put the 1 on the 2, making it 12. So now we can subtract 12 by 8, which will give us 4. And then 4 minus 2, which will give us 2. And then 9 minus 5 is 4. And make sure the decimal point lines up. So the answer for this problem is 4.241. Try this one. 24.354 minus 8.62. Now, just like a previous problem, we're going to add a 0 here. 4 minus 0 is 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. Now, we can't subtract 3 by 6. That will give us a negative number. So we're going to borrow a 1 from the 4. The 4 becomes a 3, and this 3 becomes 13. So now we have 13 minus 6, which is 7. Now, 3 minus 8 we can't do. So we're going to borrow a 1 from the 2, and now the 3 becomes a 13. So now we have 13 minus 8, which is 5, and then the 1, or 1 minus 0, which is 1. We can simply bring down the 1, and that gives us a final answer of 15.734. So as you can see, subtracting two numbers is not that difficult once you know the process. But now let's try an unusual problem with subtraction. Let's say we have 38.004, and we're going to subtract that by 12.769. So go ahead and work on this problem. Now, 4 minus 9, that's a negative number. So we need to borrow a 1. But we can't borrow a 1 from 0. Nor can we borrow a 1 from the second 0. What we need to do is borrow a 1 from the 8. But we have to be careful of this. What you need to do is see this as 800. If you borrow 1 from 800, what do you get? What is 800 minus 1? 800 minus 1 is 799. So this becomes a 7, and the two zeros become 9. Now the 4 is going to change to 14. We're going to add a 1 to it. So 14 minus 9 is 5. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 7 is 2. 7 minus 2 is something we can do. It'll give us 5. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. So the final answer is 25.235. So now you know how to perform decimal subtraction. Now let's move on to multiplication. Let's multiply 4.85 by 2.6. For decimal multiplication, you don't need to line up the decimals. Now, this problem can be done the same way as multiplying two whole numbers. The rules are the same. So right now, we could ignore the decimal as if it's not there. But towards the end, we'll incorporate it in our final answer. So first, we're going to multiply 6 times 5, which is 30. We're going to write the 0, carry the 3. And then 6 times 8 is 48 plus 3. That gives us 51. So we're going to write the 1, carry over the 5. 6 times 4 is 24 plus 5, that's 29. So we're going to write the entire 29. Now, moving on to the 2. What you need to do is first add a 0, and then you can continue with the multiplication. But now let's get rid of these numbers. 2 times 5 is 10. So we're going to write the 0, carry over the 1. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1. That gives us 17. We're going to write the 7, carry over the 1. And then 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1. That's 9. So now we need to add the two rows of numbers that we have. So this is going to be 0, 1. 9 plus 7 is 16. We're going to write the 6, carry over the 1. 1 plus 9 is 10 plus 2, that's 12. Now notice that we have two numbers to the right of the decimal and one number to the right of the second number. That is to the right of the decimal of the second number. So we're going to have a total of 3 numbers that's going to be to the right of the decimal in our final answer. So the decimal is going to be here, which means the final answer is 12.610. Or you could say 12.61. So that's how you can multiply two numbers or two decimal numbers. Let's try another example. Let's multiply 13.86 by 3.9. If you want to pause the video to work on this problem, feel free to do so. So just like the last problem, there's no need to line up the decimal points. Let's begin. 9 times 6 is 54. So we're going to write the 4, carry the 5. 8 times 9 is 72 plus 5. That's 77. We'll write the 7, carry over the other 7. 9 times 3 is 27 plus 7, that's 34. So we'll write the 4, carry the 3. And then 9 times 1 is 9 plus 3, that's 12. Now let's get rid of these numbers. We're going to add a 0 and move on to the 3. 3 times 6 is 18. So we'll write the 8, carry the 1. 3 times 8 is 24 plus 1, that's 25. So we'll write the 5, carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2, that's 11. So we're going to write the 1, carry the 1, and then 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, that gives us a 4. So now let's add these two numbers. So we get 4, 7 plus 8 is 15. Write the 5, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 is 10. And then 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. And then 1 plus 4 is 5. Now we have a total of 3 numbers to the right of the 2 decimal points. So in our final answer, we're going to have 3 numbers to the right of the decimal point. So the final answer is going to be 54.054. So now you know how to perform long decimal multiplication. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to division. Let's start with a simple example. Let's divide a decimal number by a whole number. So what is 16.34 divided by 3? Go ahead and work on that problem. So the 3, I'm going to need to start at the top here. The 3 is the divisor, 16.34 is the dividend. Now how many times does 3 go into 16? If you're not sure, you could write out the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. We only need the first 9 multiples of 3. 3 times 10 is 30, so we don't need to go that far. So to answer this question, how many 3's go into 16? What you want to do is look for the highest multiple of 3 just under 16, and that's going to be 15. So the answer that you're looking for is 5. 3 goes into 16 5 times. 3 times 5 is 15, and then once you subtract it, 16 minus 15 is 1. Now we're going to bring down the 3. Even though this is technically 1.3, we're going to treat it as if it's 13. So we have the decimal point here, we're going to put it here. So how many times does 3 go into 13? 3 goes into 13 4 times. 3 times 4 is 12. And 13 minus 12 is 1. Now I'm going to bring down this 4. 3 goes into 14 4 times. 3 times 4 is 12. We get a difference of 2. Now, if we want more decimal points or numbers after the decimal, we can add a 0 and continue the process. Now 3 goes into 20 6 times. 3 times 16 is 18. Notice that it gives us a remainder of 2. If we add another 0, we get 20 again, and 3 will go into that 20 6 times. We're always going to get a remainder of 2. And so what this tells us is that the 6 is going to repeat. Thus the final answer is 5.446 repeating. So this is the divisor, this is the dividend, this is the quotient, and the 2 that we keep getting is the remainder. Now let's try one more example. So let's take a decimal number and divide it by another decimal number this time. So we're going to divide 9.56 by 1.7. 9.56 divided by 1.7, you can write it as a fraction. Now, we can get an equivalent fraction if we multiply the top and the bottom numbers by 10. So this becomes 95.6 and this becomes 17. So we can rewrite the problem as 95.6 divided by 17. And it's easier to divide it this way. It's easier to divide a decimal number by a whole number than 2 decimal numbers. So it's to your advantage to rewrite the problem. So let's do it that way. The 17 is our divisor, 95.6 is the dividend. Now let's make a list of multiples of 17. To get this, you can keep adding 17 in your calculator if you want, or in your head. So multiples of 17 are 17, 34, 17 plus 34 is 51, and then 68. 68 plus 17 is 85. 85 plus 17 is 102, and then 119. 119 plus 17 is 136, and then if we add 17 to that, that's going to give us 153. We don't need to go to 170 because that will be the 10th multiple of 17, and we just need the first 9 to do the work. So how many times does 17 go into 95? 17 goes into 95 5 times. The highest multiple of 17 under 95 is 85. So 17 times 5 is 85. 95 minus 85 is 10. We're going to bring down the 6, keep the decimal point here. So we're going to treat this as if it's 106, even though it's 10.6. So how many times does 17 go into 106? It goes into 106 6 times. 17 times 6 is 102. Subtracting these two numbers gives us a 4. Now, just to get some additional numbers, let's add a 0 here. So this becomes 40. 17 goes into 40 2 times. 17 times 2 is 34. This gives us a 6. Add another 0. 17 goes into 60 3 times. So that's 51. 60 minus 51 is 9. Let's add another 0. 17 goes into 90 5 times. And that will give us 85. And at this point, we have a lot of numbers. This might repeat for a long time. So we can round our answer and say this is approximately, using this value, we can round a 3 up to a 4. So we could say 9.56 divided by 1.7 is approximately 5.624. So that is our approximate answer for this problem. So now you know how to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division with decimal numbers. Thanks for watching.